Hey everyone, RogueGold here. Welcome back to the Division 2. And today, now that the 2025 Halloween event has mostly concluded, it's not over yet. It will still run until November 11th if any of you still need to jump in and complete any objectives. But all of the event-related stuff has pretty much released, right? There might still be 1 to 2 days on the project chain. I'm not sure. Point is, we have basked in the world decorations, we fought the houndsmen, looted the loot, and due to the pretty overwhelmingly positive community reception to this event, at least on the forums that I travel and read, I wanted to try and consolidate all of that into one review and feedback-based video. The devs have said that they're using this event in particular to gauge community reception to inform future events, since this one has had more effort put into it than really ever before. So, yeah, I wanted to just chat about some of the impact that it has had. We'll dive right in. If you enjoy and you want to see more discussion, videos, and everything on the Division 2 from me moving forward, then be sure to subscribe. Shout out and thank you to our channel members for all of the love and support that you give me here on the channel. It's your generosity that allows me to keep going, making these videos, doing what I love. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, so I think we should start this off by discussing what exactly has made this year's event so special. Why have people been so impressed compared to prior years' offerings? Well, in large part, I think it is the cohesion of this all. In the past, seasonal events have largely, if not entirely, revolved around a project chain. You know, starting on X day, a new project chain kicks in, you've got 5 to 7 days worth of objectives and rewards. If we were lucky, maybe there would be some appropriately themed Twitch drops running concurrently. Maybe the loot goblin would have a Santa hat on, you know? But largely, if you didn't otherwise know that an event was going on, the game gave almost no indication that anything out of the ordinary was happening. Even the project chains themselves had often little to no relevance to the actual event. And I will say, if there is one aspect of this Halloween event that is still a bit lackluster, killing named enemies over and over again for these projects isn't all that festive or exciting. But we've had a few that stand out over time. One that comes to mind is the Winter Scavenger event that we had a few years back, where you had to like search present boxes in the open world, or the Spring event this year where enemies had bunny ears and they would drop eggs that you had to collect. But overall, that has been the critique of these events, right? Lack of interesting objectives or excitement, and almost no marketing effort made within the game itself. So on those levels, this year's Halloween event immediately blows that out of the water. You log in, and bam, the White House is decked out in some awesome decorations. And I have to say, the decorations across the social spaces in the game and those few open world spots that they did remain my favorite part of this event. I know it's trivial, I know it has no impact on the gameplay, but aside from just being a nice visual refresh from what we're used to, if we're talking about that lack of marketing for these events, this is all you need. If a player logging on didn't know that the game was doing something special for Halloween, they sure did after seeing these. So, the upfront investment and presentation is here, but is there any substance behind it? Yes, because then enters in the Houndsman Hunt bounty and the mini Warhounds. Now, while this is not the largest or most replayable activity that we've ever seen, as I've seen some people point out, this open world hunt and bounty loop is truly the first ever limited time gameplay activity that we've seen for an event like this. Right? You stumble across these hounds in the open world, they've got unique traits and abilities, one drops you a bounty, you then get to find the decorated courtyard where you fight the houndsmen. It's just a fun refresh to what we're accustomed to doing, and in my opinion, that is exactly the value that these kinds of events can provide. Beyond that, it's just nice that this event didn't put all of its eggs in one basket, if you will, whereas we're accustomed to just having a project chain, maybe some Twitch drops. This event diversified like crazy. We've got world decorations, the Houndsman Hunts, the project chain with a new named item, open world collectibles, Twitch drops. Simply having more meat on the bone for an event like this feels worthwhile, and it feels fulfilling. Finally, I wanted to then quickly talk about the rewards, because any good event has to have something new that's worth chasing, and I think this year delivered hard. On the cosmetic side, we have the Houndsman outfit. Now, some people have gripes with this transitioning to being a paid outfit after the first week, but it being free for the first week is still pretty solid, given its quality. Then there's the Sinister Shade outfit from the Project Chain, which I've been seeing a lot of people run this thing in-game, so it seems pretty popular. There's then, of course, the Bat Skill VFX mod, the arm patch and the backpack trophy that you can grab from the open world crates. And then, on the gameplay side, we got the Quick Step, which, while I have gripes with with this thing's impact on the PvP sandbox, it is undeniably a must-get new named item for whatever content you may play. And all of that stuff that I just listed off is free. Then on the paid side, there are of course 2 more themed outfits and even more skill VFX mods. The point is though, there are lots of exclusive rewards with stuff that players actually want. So looking across the board at everything that we got, I think there is one simple reason why this event has popped as well as it did. This is probably going to be the most controversial thing I say in this video, so hold your pitchforks until I can explain. But I think this event has capitalized on the good kind of FOMO, or if you don't know what that means, fear of missing out. It is a common complaint, usually among the cosmetic rewards and shop rotation, that the Division 2 has too much FOMO. I think that's a different conversation to have. But in the case of the Halloween event, the game said, hey, themed for this real-world holiday, the game is offering you 3 weeks of new decorations, new gameplay, and new rewards that you should come check out. And what I've always loved about limited-time events in other MMO-style games like World of Warcraft, for example, is that years down the road, those who were there to partake in the event get to say, do you remember when the game decorated the White House that one time when we had a new hunter to go fight and loot his outfit? Wasn't that pretty sick? Just like how back with this year's April Fool's event, we get to say, remember when the game dropped you that fake eagle bearer? I mean, that was genius. Now, I'm sure someone out there will make the argument that they should not remove this stuff. The Houndsman should remain available. There should be a setting you can toggle if you want to have these Halloween decorations at your base. My counter to that would be that the simple fact is, making something permanent means that it will eventually lose its novelty. By having a focused 3-week window for this content, it creates a sense of presence, gives the community a cool new thing to rally around while it's here. So, moving forward, again, the devs are seeking feedback. I think if it is possible to allocate enough resources to do this, having 4 of these kinds of events per year would be pretty amazing. The game has dabbled with some more niche events before, like when they did the Mooncake one back in year 6, but moving forward, if we were to get a spring, summer, Halloween/fall, and then winter event each year using this year's Halloween event as the template, I think that would be amazing. Each one gets a distinct new world decoration palette, one new gameplay activity, maybe some other scattered rewards. If we were to get that, plus one of these new event passes per season, I think that is honestly the perfect recipe to keep players engaged during those mid-season slumps, which I know has been a goal for the team in more recent times. The big question, of course, is could they continue coming up with interesting enough activities or new offerings to keep these events feeling fresh year after year? I feel like there is certainly room to experiment and try new things. One suggestion that I saw in the comments of one of my video, which I thought was pretty brilliant, kind of like how this event turned one bounty location into event content. What if, for the winter event, one specific control point within DC had like Christmas and holiday themed decorations, and then instead of the usual 3 to 4 spawn waves that you get after firing the flare, what if they just turn that up to like 25? And suddenly, you've got yourself a limited time holiday horde mode with increasingly difficult waves, a bunch of enemies running at you with Santa hats on. It's those kinds of things that would absolutely be exciting to play, at least for me. It would also hopefully stay pretty realistic and within the scope for the team and their resources, given that it would just be one single control point. So, I don't know, maybe we're getting a little bit off track here, but I think it's clear, if nothing else, that this year's Halloween event has been a success, and I'm very curious to see where they take these kinds of events moving forward. Folks, that is everything that I've got for you today in this video. Just wanted to share some of my feedback and thoughts given how much discussion this event has sparked within the community. So, on that note, I would love to hear any and all of your thoughts in regards to this year's Halloween event. Did you enjoy it? Not enjoy it? Maybe you agree with my takes in the video. Are there any aspects of the event that you think still need work and have constructive criticism for? Whatever your thoughts may be, write them down below. I'm curious to read through them. That is just about going to do it for me, though. Thank you all so much for watching and checking this out, but until the next one, RogueGold out.